Welcome to the More You Look podcast. Welcome to the More You Look podcast.
You know, can we say agenda is beginning to agenda when it comes to the issue of this vaccine passport stuff? Because I don't understand. In the beginning, the anti-vaxxers, they came out and they were screaming at the top of their lungs that, there's a conspiracy somewhere.
Yeah.
And
we didn't want to believe it.
Yeah. And I don't know, there was a time where people kind of accused the government of the UK at least that, what they are trying to do is enforce these vaccination passports on us, blah, blah, blah. And they denied. They came out and said, no, that wasn't the plan.
We ain't doing
But
that.
now, what I'm reading and hearing everywhere is that, vaccine passports is going to be a thing. Come September, we will all need. And I'm not going to lie, because I got the jab, I got the Pfizer jab. I already have my own vaccination passports, So, I don't want stress.
Yeah, an upstanding citizen.
Not even that, I don't want stress down the line. Because what they're saying now is, if you don't have the vaccine passport,
travel.
You might not be able to travel. You might not be able to. You might not be allowed into clubs. You might not be allowed to go for shows, to public places and stuff like that. Yeah, concerts and stuff like that. And
even parks, bottlings and all
it's
that.
It's ridiculous though, but I can understand. Well, I'm trying to understand what the government is, what they say they are trying to do. But my question to you is: do you think agenda is beginning to agenda?
Obviously, bro, in the beginning, so to speak, we all know that every government, you understand? I don't know if there's anyone listening from around the world and they can tell us that, their own government, from the history of their democracy, the inception of their democracy, their government has never lied to them, or they have been very, very, very straightforward with them.
Politicians are liars.
You understand?
Yeah.
Politicians and lawyers, they belong to the same caucus. You understand? At the end of the day, all they care about is how is it possible to convince someone who is opposing you, that you are actually, genuine, or because just make them win them.
What I'm curious about now is, what is the end game?
Bro, okay, first of all, me, in a way, I do not think they had this plan all along.
Do you know where I'm going to go mad?
I don't.
What I'm smelling and hearing now, it seems they are going to start enforcing children to get vaccinated.
Yes. They already lowered the bar to
secondary school
10.
students.
10, yeah.
Yeah, but
so it's a matter of time before it gets to 6 and before it gets to baby. You understand? Now, in terms of UK governments, I'm still not sure. I don't want to give this Boris and his cackles, the accolade that they are that smart. I'm sorry to say that they are that smart that they were playing, in a way they are clueless with every other thing. The only thing Boris and his crew, what they care about is Brexit.
What they care about,
that's what they are smart about.
That is not what they care about. What they care about is themselves.
Exactly.
That is why during the pandemic, this lot.
When I say economy,
awarding contracts, multi-millions.
When I say economy,
to their friends and concubines.
When I say economy, economy. If the economy is bad, it's going to affect their friends and their families who own. You understand the biggest workforces. Yeah, so when I say economy, don't think I'm talking about economy for you and me. You understand?
Yes.
How many company you get? You understand? How much you they donate for campaign? My brother, you understand? Let's be real. I just don't want to be breaking it down to that level that we don't.
Well, you know what is pissing me off right now? It is not. Well, I'm pissed off that our lives going forward, literally, is going to end up being controlled by vaccination passports.
That's where we're going.
And they are still saying now that we might need a third jab to combat this new variant.
Exactly.
So what's going to happen is every year it's quite possible that we're going to be topping up jabs, like the flu jabs. Well, offend now. What did I do now?
What do we do now?
Because I don't understand what's going on right now. And what is pissing me off right now is apparently it's been said that the vaccination passport, the vaccine passport, whatever they call it, is not going to apply to MPs.
That's the see
To members of parliament.
Is
This-
the most annoying.
This lady on Twitter put it, took the words out of my mouth. She said, the people making the rules for the rest of us won't have to follow them. Do you get it yet?
That's the annoying part.
When you allow a government to control your life for the greater good, the greater good will inevitably end up to not apply to those in power, which is what is happening right now.
Femi, it's as simple as this, you understand? These guys, they take us for granted.
We are all in this.
say-
They keep saying we are all in this. If I hear one
We are
politician say we are all in this together, the thunder that we fire that politician,
Thunder, fire on our back.
I don't understand it. We are all in this together, but you are enforcing rules. I'm curious to know how many of those.
See,
MPs
when they
actually
exempt
got the
each other,
jabs.
when they okay, we know that COVID is likely going to be like for years.
It's going to be for years,
You
at
understand?
least 3 years
Now,
or so. Yeah.
an MP who is currently serving, maybe his last term, you understand, or something. If you exempt him now, what happens when he's out of office? So it's just going to be scot-free because some of them carry these privileges from public office. They carry it after retirement, like the president. Any president would always still be referred to as Mr. President. You understand? So they will continue having these privileges after office. That is it. That is where they take.
When I saw that bit of news,
Please take.
it made me sick to my stomach.
Bro, these guys are smart. Like I said,
It
politicians,
made me sick to
they
my
are
stomach.
smart and they are dumb at the same time because at the end of the day, you understand, why would you want to do all this and exempt yourself?
I mean, does that not actually underline the fact that there's an agenda somewhere?
Exactly.
Even if there's no agenda, let's assume there's no agenda. But when you enforce something on
And you
people
exempt yourself.
and you are refusing to follow that same rule that you set, should red flags not start?
When the vaccines started, each country's leader, they were saying, oh, I'm going to take the jab, and they were taking it right, even though we don't know what was in the syringe when they were, you understand, inserting the needle. But why is it the time of vaccine passport? Why can they not take lead? At least for the vaccine, they waited a few weeks after others were taking it, just for safety, just in case. You understand? But for passport, that is not going to hurt any part
Anyone,
of your DNA, your body, your blood, nothing.
Insanity.
They should be the first people having their passports. You understand? So definitely, I mean, this is all conspiracy. I don't believe in
honestly,
conspiracy,
it just underlines the
it
fact
just-
that there is an agenda
you
somewhere.
understand? When you start adding 1 plus 1, it's crazy. It's crazy. But what I don't get, at the end of the day, is still this, Femi. You know, the reason why, I've said this before, when you got your first jab and all that, I was skeptical about it. I didn't want to get the vaccine.
But you've had the vaccine now, right?
Yeah. So,
We are in this together.
at that time, you understand, I didn't feel like I needed it. I told you, I believe I've been exposed. My wife had it. I believe I've been exposed severally, but I didn't think I needed it. Then, when I was going to take mine, I asked about the vaccine. I did my research, and I told them, look, if I didn't get it initially, and you're pumping me with one, not one vaccine, but 2. Now you're talking of the third one. What happens to that immune system that I already have already? Now I even asked for a test to show if I
have
am
antibodies and all that stuff.
They said I had to pay for it. So the other option for me not to pay for it, as a boy that went to Ijebu, is for me to take the jab. Because even if I do a test and antibody test, I still have to take the jab. Because without taking the vaccine, I can't get a vaccine passport. You understand? The only reason, like I said, that I took the vaccine in the first place is because I looked at it. Okay, if I have to travel, that's the number one reason.
That's the problem. They know that people cannot do without traveling. It will affect people's businesses and stuff, and because of that, they are enforcing. And the thing is, no one can do anything about it. You can't take them to court.
It's crazy, man.
There's nothing you can. So we can only just sit back and watch the drama unfold. But one thing I can tell you, though, for a fact, as a statement of fact, is I would never allow anyone to vaccinate any of my kids. My kids are too little. I believe children ages 11 and under are just too little to be having vaccinations. That is what I believe. The same reason why.
But if you argue that, what about polio vaccination and all that?
Yeah, but polio is not coronavirus.
Yeah, I know. But if you say kids are not supposed to be, if you put vaccinated as general term,
with the COVID vaccine,
that's what I'm saying. So don't just argue. Otherwise, lawyer will tell you say, but your child has been given polio, whatever. You know. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. By the way, hello guys. We're gonna hide away there for a minute. Yeah, welcome to another episode of the More You Look podcast.
Yeah.
I remain your OG Femi Anthony. I've got my friend here, Femi and Sky.
And according to Simon Biles, OG stands for old grandma. So Femi is an old grandma. Me, I'm a young guy.
I'm a young guy. Let me tell you something. I celebrated my birthday July 25th, and most people don't believe my age. Yeah, I'm in my mid-40s now. Even though I don't look it, I believe I qualify to be a young OG.
Yeah.
Not by age only, but also by experience. Okay. And now that we've introduced ourselves, I would like us to discuss something that's quite important to me. We discussed it when we started the podcast initially, and it's about prostate cancer. I know that there's a bit of awareness going on, but I don't believe that there is enough awareness. So what we want to do is just spread our own awareness about prostate cancer. We as men, we really have to take more care of ourselves. If you notice, when we were younger, living in Nigeria, what we used to believe is that cancer, in all its forms, is a white man's disease. Because that was what we were conditioned to believe. Yeah. And the reason is because it was very rare to see a black person having cancer, especially Africans. It's quite possible that people were having it then, but we did not even know that was what it was. Because we were calling it something else. You see?
Yeah, clearly people
you get what I mean?
Must have died of.
But my point is, now that I'm a fully grown man, and in the world we live today, it is clear to see that cancer is the new headache. You get what I mean? It is now so common. Everyone's having it. Little kids, adults. And the worst part of this is we don't know. You can't really say this is the reason why people are having cancer. And the reason why I say that, I'm sure medically people can come out and say, well, this is why. But let me tell you something. When I was young, like I said, as a teenager, we were made to believe that, if you smoke, if you have really bad eating habits, bad diets and stuff like that, you don't exercise, you don't take care of yourself, you are going to have cancer. But the reality of the fact is, I know some of the physically fittest people in the world. We have known actual athletes that have died of cancer. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
We've known actual athletes that have died from cancer. So sometimes I just think, I know genetics plays a big part of it. And I know that the things I've already outlined, bad diets, lack of exercise, and all that stuff, immune system and all that stuff, also plays a part of it. But I just feel that what we can do as people is keep educating each other, keep bringing that awareness to the forefront, because I feel that men don't really take good care of ourselves as much as women do. And if you think about it, for women now, they get notified to have their cervical screening. They get notified for all sorts of stuff because they're women, they have to have children. There are lots of stuff attached to childbearing and what do you call it, menopause and all that stuff. But for men, how many men do we actually think wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to my GP to request for general checkup? How many men actually have a blood pressure monitor at home? You get what I mean? Now, let's downstream it. How many African men actually believe in checking their own blood pressure, in asking the GP to do it for them, in doing a blood test to find out their kidney functions and all that stuff? I don't think this is something that people take seriously. And I'm going to be very truthful with you. Prior to me going into healthcare, it was something that I didn't really care about. I would only visit my GP if I was sick. And I never once said, oh, I need to go to my GP to check my prostate, or I need to go to my GP to check my blood pressure, or whatever. It's not until you get seriously sick that you start getting letters from the GP. Yeah, if you suffer from asthma, they are going to do regular asthma checks for you. If you suffer from hypertension, they are going to do regular blood pressure checks for you. But how much are we actually taking care of each other as men? All we want to do is work, and take care of our families. But who takes care of us?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we have this podcast, because one of our mission is to be able to sensitize other men like us, about health, their health, mental health, all forms of their health,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're trying to do our own bits, so yeah. But moving to how much we really do take care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, she was telling me about a certain change in me, lately, and I was like, oh, I have actually been thinking about this,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna try and work on myself, because it stems from a lot of things, a lot of bad habits that I've been trying to change. But because of the kind of work I do, and when I do my work, which is lately at night, I eat late at night, which is why I have my
that's classed as irregular eating habits,
exactly.
which is also not good
so
for you.
I'm trying to break those things, but unless you are conscious of that you have a problem, or you might have a problem,
That's the thing.
you will not work on it.
Yes, because the truth is, I sound like a hypocrite, because it wasn't until I felt really ill many years ago that I became in tune. I woke up to the knowledge that I need to take better care of myself, you see. And it wasn't until I got into the healthcare system that I realized that some of the food we eat, the way we eat,
when we eat them,
could actually lead to dementia and Alzheimer's.
Really?
Oh yes, I never knew that.
Wow.
Yeah, what we put into our body now,
Can you give us,
the way we put it into our body,
because I know we're not going to.
that is going to be a whole different podcast.
But just for this episode, I know we're not
That's
going to
going to
go
be a
in
whole
depth.
yeah.
Just mention one.
Well, there are different kinds of food that are not good for us, especially if you eat it in surplus, if you don't get enough rest. There are just different factors that come into play when it comes to these things we're talking about.
Okay.
When you eat irregular, if you have a bad diet, you don't exercise, you don't get enough rest, and you're already in your late 30s, you're going into your 40s, you don't check your blood pressure, you don't drink enough water. Just different components come together to make sure you probably will have Alzheimer's, dementia.
I mean, I'm going to research this.
Yeah. What we're going to do is,
and we're going to talk about
this. We will dedicate a podcast to delving into these things, because I feel like as men we're not paying enough attention to our own health.
These things.
Yeah.
Before you move on from health.
Yes. No, we are not moving on, because we're still going to delve into prostate cancer.
I was going to ask, just for someone who's hearing prostate for the first time, which I doubt, but what does prostates and prostate cancer?
I was going to go into that. Yeah. So what we need to understand is prostate is a small gland in the pelvis of men. It's found in men. Well, obviously, only men have prostate.
And in layman's language, your private area.
No, it's located between the penis and the bladder, and it surrounds the urethra. That is where you sort of urinate, where your urine passes through. So the main function of the prostate in men is to produce a thick white fluid that creates semen. You see, so when you mix it with sperm, when your testicles produce sperm, the function of that prostate is what produces the thick white. When you are doing your home face and you are spraying the
my God.
And you want to bust, you see, pause. It's your prostate that produces that thick white fluid. So, and what we need to understand is to understand the symptoms of prostate cancer. Now, here's the thing about healthcare that is a bit funny. Sometimes when they say, oh, these are the symptoms of something, You might experience those symptoms, but you're not actually having that very what's it called? Illness. For prostate cancer, when you start feeling the need to pee a lot, to pee all the time. Sometimes too, when the weather is cold, you actually feel like going.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's why I said. That's why I said sometimes.
In summer, I can drink. As you can see, I have 2 or 3 bottles there that I'm kind of. But in winter, if I just drink a little,
you have this.
I'm feeling like shit, man.
So, and this is where the other one comes in. When you're peeing and you have to strain. When you go to the loo and you want to pee, it's meant to come out naturally. It's meant to flow.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? But when you start peeing as if you have a sexually transmitted disease or something, you get what I mean? So that is another symptom. And here's the thing: it's quite possible that you do not have prostate cancer, but it's just one of the symptoms. Yeah. Okay? And when you finish peeing, you put your penis back in your boxers or whatever, but you still have this feeling that you have not fully emptied your bladder. That's another symptoms. Sometimes you pee just now, before you walk to where you're going, you feel like going back again. Exactly. And when you go back, you push, a little pee will still come out. Yeah. When all those things start happening, it's quite possible that you don't. In fact,
something like incontinence,
No, incontinence is when you just pee, when you lose function.
Yeah, I mean.
Of your urethra, of your organs. You see, that's incontinence. Yeah. But with prostate is when you are straining to pee, when you're having this urge to pee all the time, and when you finish peeing and it still feels like something is left in there, like you have a urine retention, like something is there. So what I would advise is don't panic. It's quite possible you might experience those symptoms, and it's quite possible that you don't even have prostate cancer. But guess what they say to everyone? Get yourself checked. It costs you nothing. I know that the system right now is in disarray because of COVID.
If you're a foreigner, I don't mind Femi. If you're a foreigner, it will cost you an arm and a leg.
No, it's not even that. It won't. It won't.
No, if you're a foreigner, you're going to pay for it.
I'll tell you why it won't.
Why?
Because when you are applying for your visa, you've paid.
You paid, yeah, that's true.
So that money covers that.
The new rule
it
now,
does.
So which,
back in the day is when it cost you an arm and a leg. So don't be shy. And with the NHS, we have one rule. We never turn anyone back.
They'll treat you first.
We owe you a duty of care. Then we will talk about money.
Yeah.
You get me? So don't let the financial aspect of this sort of, make you develop cold feet. Because I know people that go through stuff and they'll be saying, I don't want to go to the GP. I don't want to go to the GP.
Yeah. It's good that you talked about this. You see, I've had some experiences with UK GPs, and it still frustrates me up to today, and it made me lose confidence in going to the GP for anything, even if it's just a suspicion. Now, I recently met a lady, as you know, I don't hide the fact that I also do Uber driving.
Yes.
So I met a lady on bus, as well too, who she said, she's been witnessing some things about herself since she got the vaccine. She said she sleeps like a lot, and it's been over 2 months, 3 months that she's had the vaccine. But before, she said she could be awake like forever, but now every little just sit down on the chair, she's sleeping. Now she went to the GP, they told her it's nothing, that they did a minor normal test, and it's told her it's nothing, don't worry, you'll be fine. And she said it's carried on for 2 months. So I'm like, I thought I was the only one doing this.
Yeah, but what you need to understand is, you made a good point. We digress a little.
Yeah, I know, sorry about that.
A lot of GPs, I won't say a lot because I really don't know the statistics, but it's common knowledge that it is quite okay to get a second opinion if you're not satisfied with the first. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't know that people have been misdiagnosed. Okay? There are services out there, NHS services, that have paid hundreds of thousands in compensations to families. It's happened to me personally. A few years ago, my wife was very ill. We went to our GP and he kept saying, it's heartburn. She eventually had to get admitted for 3 weeks at the hospital. And it was very serious. It was something really serious that I really don't want to discuss on the podcast. But my point is, people have been known to have been misdiagnosed. And some have been unfortunate enough to have ended up in death. You see? So what I would advise is, before I even go along, I want to make something clear. Whatever we say on this podcast should not be classed in any way as medical advice.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're just making awareness,
Yeah,
and so what I'm gonna say is, if you get seen by a doctor and you're not satisfied with that consultation, you can always ask for a second opinion. It is your right.
Okay,
You get what I mean?
So, because the way the UK system is, you got to be registered with the GP before
Yes.
you can, be seen.
Yes.
Now, are you gonna ask for that second opinion at the same?
Like I was saying,
practice?
you see, the issue here is just it's like a crazy cycle. Because even before COVID, it's been hard for a lot of people to get appointments with their GP. It's worse in some places than others. And now, since the COVID has started, a lot of GP surgeries are actually doing everything but seeing their patients. You see? So here's the thing. You said something just now that you have to register with a GP to be seen. That is actually right, but not right at the same time.
Okay.
It is very important to be registered with a GP surgery. Not many people right now are having problems getting registered to GP surgeries because they will tell you that they have one doctor to 10,000 patients. So what do you want them to do? You get me? But if you don't have a GP surgery, please do not let that stop you from getting yourself, seen. And what you can do, I was getting to that. What you can do, you can dial 111 on your phone. It is free. Because I know when it comes to money, that's when people develop cold feet. If you dial 111 on your mobile phone, what happens is that phone call takes you to a national number.
Yeah.
But if you dial 111, it goes directly to the 111 service in your area.
Okay.
The entire country has a 111 service that was
But
started
it goes
years
to
ago.
your
original one. And what happens is they will get a clinician
Okay.
to speak to you, to discuss your symptoms with you over the phone.
Okay.
And if that clinician thinks that you need to be seen face to face, they will send you to a service.
Okay.
That service could be situated in a hospital near you.
Okay.
You see, so you don't need to have a GP to have access to
have
that.
access to that.
You don't also need to have a GP for you to walk into A&E. Any A&E in your area.
I'd rather even go to that GP that will misdiagnose me.
Yeah, why do you say
waiting
that?
time.
That's the thing. It's all over the country.
Especially when you don't have blood coming out of it.
Yeah, but it's true. What people need to understand is A&E essentially means accidents and emergency.
Yeah.
So if you walk into A&E with toothache, leg pain, abdo pain, and stuff like that,
And people actually
obviously,
do it.
people
That's
do
why
it a lot.
sometimes I don't blame the A&E.
So obviously,
A&E
A&E
starts.
is just going to triage you to another service. But the most important thing that I want to make clear is you are going to be seen the same day. You might have a bit of a wait, but it is important. If you are worried about your health in any way, you have these options available to you. You get me? Okay. So if I was worried and I knew that I had a few hours wait, that would actually not be that important to me. You get what I mean? So back to prostate cancer.
Yeah.
Why does prostate cancer happen?
Yeah.
And the answer to that for me, it says people susceptible to having prostate cancer are people 50 years and older. But it's been known for people in their 40s to actually have prostate cancer. God help us. For reasons not yet understood, prostate cancer is more common in men of African Caribbean or African descent, or Asian. And this is what I want to point out. Remember on one of the episodes when we had a doctor here, a colleague of mine, and we were discussing the coronavirus and we were discussing diabetes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but diabetes, ailments like diabetes, hypertension,
they are all black.
These ailments
and
are sickle cell.
Yeah.
And
did you know that despite that my sister, I lost a sister to sickle cell.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until when we had Dr. Shibu here that I got to know that it's an African.
It is.
Before that we had that. What's her name again? The sickle cell.
Oh yeah.
champion.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Chanel Taylor.
Yeah, thanks Chanel for coming on the show again. Before that, it wasn't until then that I got to know
so
about
some of
this
these ailments are prevalent within the African Caribbean, African descent, and Asian communities, and I think that's why not much more could be done.
Yeah, but that's why not much.
Not much. If you take the issue of sickle cell, but I don't want us to digress into that already. So, prostate cancer is something that happens to people 50 years and above, but people in their 40s have been known to have it, and it's prevalent within the Afro-Caribbean, Asian communities. There are certain tests they can do. What we also need to know is if there's a member, a male family member that has had prostate cancer, then if there's other male members of that family are at risk. So that is when you need to continuously get yourself checked. What people don't understand is you can actually call your GP surgery and request for a GP to check your prostate. It's your right. But most men, because of our ego,
even
they don't.
Stigma.
The idea of somebody sticking their hand into you is something that puts men off. But let's talk about women for a change. Do you know what it entails to have a cervical screening?
No.
Do you know what women actually endure?
When I was younger, I actually felt like, then it was a bit appealing for me to go into medicine just to become a cervical doctor, so that you can be, examining. But my point is this. We men, maybe because of how I grew up and all that, but women will generally think that women actually enjoy that, getting their.
It's just because we think it's a norm.
Yeah, but
go and ask any woman
they don't really
what they go through when they're having mammograms.
Yeah,
and they'll tell you.
Another thing
I'll tell you is if it was men.
When my wife was giving birth,
just even that.
Checking.
If it was men that have to have kids, there won't be enough people on earth. That's just the truth.
I would die in silence.
That's the truth, because I know that my wife endures pain way more than I do. I know that. Because when you think about it,
it's proven that women have a bigger tolerance level.
I've been stabbed in my life, I've been shot, but when I have man flu, I will be talking as if I'm paying my last respect and putting things in order. I'm about to die. But when my wife has the proper flu, you will still see her go shopping and do things that she normally does, like nothing.
Women, we salute you.
We salute you.
On this podcast, we respect women.
So back to the prostate cancer talk. There is no single test for discerning if somebody has prostate cancer. There are a myriad of tests that you have to do. You can do blood tests. You have to do rectal examination, digital rectal examination. There's MRI scan. They can carry out a biopsy. But what people need to understand is, like I will keep repeating this thing, it is your right. You can ring up your GP surgery and ask for a PSA test. It is your right. Please don't be dissuaded by the idea that you don't want somebody to put their finger up your bum or something, because I've seen people actually make joke. You know what I mean about this. Prostate cancer, if caught on time, can be nipped in the bud. No pun intended.
It can be eradicated.
It can actually be it can be treated. And what they do is they can surgically remove your prostate. They can use radiotherapy. Okay? So the only time when it becomes an issue is when the cancer spreads to other parts of the body and cannot be cured.
I hate to be the bearer.
So every treatment for prostate cancer carries significant side effects. So
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and this should not deter you from getting checked. You understand? I'm following up all what Femi has been advising us, but I came across this on the NHS website. It says even the PA test is not 100% perfect. It will not find all prostate cancers.
But let me ask you this. Yeah, what you are saying is valid.
That is a bit.
What you are saying is valuable. Let me ask you this.
It's like the lateral flow test, isn't it?
Let me ask you this. It's not even like lateral flow. Lateral flow test is useless because some secondary school. No, it's quite common now. My daughter was telling me, I didn't believe it. Some secondary students and you know they have been made to have a lateral flow test. So if you test positive, you have to stay home. And what I've found out, I'm snitching now. What I found out is they put orange juice into the lateral.
Oh my God!
To get a positive.
To get a positive, so they can stay at home.
Yes.
Shy.
So don't compare that with this.
Kids, you did worse than that, maybe.
But the thing, my point is, with what you just said regarding the PSA test, is this: we know that condom is not 100% safe.
Yeah.
But would you rather wear a condom or not wear it?
No, like I said, it shouldn't deter you. You understand? Because if you are one of the 90% that it catches, you understand that it catches.
Do you know that we men, we have a problem? We don't talk to each other enough. I'm talking to you. Listening and watching this thing. Because if you think about this, no. Just you and I, we went to university together, you and I. We've known each other for many years now. But do you know that it would be awkward if I started asking you out of the blue? If I called you on your phone and said, "Oh, Sky,
check your prostate."
Not even that. No, not even that. When last did you check your testicles? Won't you tell me, guy? Are you okay, mate? Yeah. Are you alright? Are you drunk? You know, we don't have these discussions with each other. And I'm sure women don't have that discussion with each other too. I don't see women asking each other, when last did you check your breast? You know?
No, actually, to some stage, I know for issues like breast cancer, you know, maybe not in Africa, but I've seen instances where women, they do talk about these things.
Yeah, but we're talking about men's health now.
Yeah. I'm saying compared to men.
I get with me.
I'll give women 60%.
Yeah. The focus of this is about men's health. And I just think that we men, we don't talk. We don't have this discussion.
Nah, we don't. It's like a tab, especially when you're now African. You understand? When you are from Africa,
you know somebody on
not
Twitter,
just African, even the Indian, like the
yes. Cultural, there's cultural aspects involved.
Asian, you know,
and that is the problem. There's a bit of cultural aspects involved.
It's like a taboo. It's like, mate, seriously?
If you're a white guy asking another white guy if he has checked his testicles or if he has had his prostate check, they are going to call you gay. You know, there is that stigma out there. You know, and I would think even gay people, and the funny thing people don't understand is gay people take care of themselves way more because they understand the risks that they are open to. You get what I mean? But we men in general, we are lacking in that aspect. Somebody named Chidindu on Twitter here said the health-seeking behaviors of most men play a huge role. They often report late to the clinic after they have tried all that traditional methods to complicate the issue.
Yeah.
You know, so we need to keep reminding men that are 40 years and above to, you know, pay more attention. Most people die of blood pressure. Most people die of hypertension without even knowing. They don't check their blood pressures so that it can be properly managed. If they have hypertension, they don't. They just go about life drinking all sorts of concoctions in the sun, and you know, I'm not saying a herbal and you know, holistic or traditional. It's those things are good for maintaining your, you know, your daily health, you know, but those things will never reveal ailments in your body like a blood test would. You get what I mean? So, prostate cancer, guys, if you're 40 and above, contact your GP. Say you want a PSA test. Just say you want to get your prostate checked. You've not checked it in a long time. They should oblige you. And that's that about that. Moving on, there's this issue that somebody asked me the other day. And I wanted us to just, you know, talk about it for a few minutes. I know you will have something to say about it because it's mainly, you won't see white people doing this. You won't see white people doing this a lot.
Not so much of them, but
no, they won't. Let me tell you what white people do. They save up. Once a white person gets engaged, they start saving. You will hear that's why white people, the day they get engaged, they'll be telling you that we are getting married in 2 years, in 3 years. They start saving. You see, their father might pitch in a little bit or something, you know, and then they get the wedding done. Why is it that in black communities, people take loans for weddings and burials. Why do you think this is? Because I personally don't understand it. The husband will borrow 20,000 from the bank, the wife will borrow 15,000 in her own name, and then we have a lavish wedding with limousine and all that stuff. And after that, you will spend the next 5-6 years paying the money back. Why do people do that?
Okay, I cannot speak to other cultures. I can only speak to a culture which I grow.
Nigerians are guilty of doing that
I grew
a lot.
up around. You understand? So, and the culture that I grew up around is the Yorubas. You know, the western, southwestern region of Nigeria. You know, basically the Yorubas were known to be exuberant. You understand?
Yes.
When it comes to parties. You understand?
Happy after
You understand? Yorubas will go all lengths. Somebody that in your streets is known as the least, like is the pauper of the street.
You are living in a one-bedroom flat.
You
are sharing bathroom with 3 other people.
When his daughter is getting married, they will block the whole street.
I think it's partly due to this. I better pass my neighbor, you know, symptom.
Yeah. You see some of them saying that party Obudo Legon. That means it's got to be better than the last party that was had.
Africans in general, especially Nigerians, because that is the only thing we can use as a case study. Right from our ancestors all the way down, everything is a competition. They force their children into terrible marriages just because my friend's daughter got married 2 years ago. You are still here. Why would you do this? Why would you do that? My friend's daughter is a doctor. You have to be a doctor. My this is this. You have to be that. So they borrow. But you see, the big problem I have with things like that is this: why do people borrow money to bury someone that they cannot borrow that same money for? To help financially when they were alive.
Femi, like I said, is exuberance. Nigerians, I don't know if it makes sense or not. You know, that's not I'm not going to speak to that. But it's just about exuberance. You understand? Like, you see families that they will not even help their fellow, you know, siblings and all that, or even their neighbor. But when that neighbor's partner dies, you understand? You see them coming to share clothes, share filler, share bookwear.
Yes, of course.
You understand? It is just I was telling somewhere. Okay, so one of my friends traveled to Italy recently, about 2 days ago. So while we were driving, I was telling the person that, okay, we were talking about cultures. He is from Kenya, his wife is from Italy. So we're just sharing cultural, backgrounds. We're just sharing, swapping stories. Then I can't remember what exactly led to it, but he asked me when I changed my car and all that. Then we started talking about value of our currencies and all that. Long story short, he now asked me why did I change the Mercedes Benz that I was driving. So I told him, yeah, it's cool, you know. It was giving me street cred and all that, but it wasn't making me as much money as this one. And me, at this stage of my life, everything I do, I'd like to see the business part of it.
It is not the business part of it that you like to see. Everything you do, you put your family first in every decision you take.
Exactly.
That is why.
Exactly. So I said that, could you believe that I'm making about up to 60% more than I was making with the Mercedes Benz, you know, just by driving this one. And I said, that when we were now talking along the line, I said, do you know that the last time I went to one of my friends' party and all that, most of the guys that I've not seen in a long while, but that they knew them when I was driving the Mercedes, they were asking me that, why did you change your car? That this one is not. I was just laughing. I was like, you don't know nothing.
You know, everything we do is out to be seen.
That's how the Nigerian.
That is why Nigerian celebrities are all over Instagram. Yeah.
Exactly.
Borrowing people's cars to put and say, Range Rover, latest Range Rover. Next week you will hear their landlord has chased them out of the house.
Speaking of Range Rover, I like, Funka and Kindele and all that. She and the husband, they were doing Toyota.
Oh yeah.
But I like the fact that they used Toyota. They were not going.
No, the people who got it. The people who don't got it. That's how it is.
I mean,
but I just believe that whatever makes you happy. But
the southwestern Nigerian,
Yoruba people, just use your mouth. Use your mouth. Finish. Yoruba people. We are the people that will go and spray money at parties.
Yeah.
Did you hear the story of 3 guys that went to spray money at a party in London here? They went to spray Solek.
Oh, okay.
Only for their landlord to come that same weekend with his agent to inspect their house. Landlord turned out to be Solek.
Holy shit.
Then they don't have house, so they are living in the, we want to spray money. We want to be seen.
I'm sure that Solek has been here before. I'm sure if Solek begins with his story, we don't say.
I'm telling you.
You understand?
It's a rumor ahead though, but
no, that's what happens, bro.
This is what happens. We don't prioritize properly, and it's from every aspect of our lives as Nigerians. Look at the Nigerian government. They do not. In fact, don't let every episode people will say.
Let's talk about your boy, Hush Puppy. He's a Yoruba guy. Why do you think the lavish life, the whatever?
I was thinking about something the other day. Now that you mentioned it, I was just thinking,
what is outside guy?
It's not even that. I was just thinking to myself that, what if this guy was not on Instagram?
Nobody would know about him. He was on. At first, at least
not condoning what he did.
At first, he was on.
If it was not on Instagram,
what's this other one?
Facebook. It was on Facebook.
I don't know.
It was on Twitter.
No, this Snapchat. It was only on Snapchat for a long time.
Oh, okay.
But when it felt like I wasn't getting that,
it's
not
attention seeking.
There's some of his other crew, they were on Instagram already. That.
Anyways, it's beginning to sing. Then we arrest all of them by I hope
Canary.
I hope we do. I know people will say that I've come again. Every episode we talk about Nigeria. But people don't understand. People think that, what people don't understand is we want Nigeria to be better.
Is what you love that you talk about
is the main reason why many Nigerians are in diaspora today is just for the aspect of security. A lot of us have worked so hard. We have mansions back home that we cannot live in because of fear, for lack of safety.
Even just running a business in Nigeria,
they will frustrate you. I have friends.
If they don't rob you, if they don't,
they will put policies
if
in
they
place.
don't rob you by, armed, machetes and all that. They will rob you by blood.
The police, your family will rob you. Or the Nigerian government will put unnecessary policies in place that will frustrate your business. Do you know that I read recently that Shell is leaving Nigeria? They have been in Nigeria for decades. They finally decided that enough is enough.
That might be a smart move because the world is going towards.
So the issue here is, I want people to understand that we are not attacking Nigeria. It pains us what is going on back home, and people don't understand that whatever is going on back home, it affects us too. Because the people that you will give £50 before, you are not able to give them £300 because everything is now expensive. People are hungry back home. You get what I mean? So the issue with me and Nigeria is we have to continue talking about these things. We have to continue educating ourselves. Because how can a country in 2021 be planning to ban women from driving?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I hear that some northern parts of Nigeria are effecting Sharia law grade A that will ban women. And this is my problem with that. Saudi Arabia is where Islam itself originated from. The Saudi Arabians themselves, who actually have the the religion that these people are, that they are effecting right now, they have decided to allow women to drive.
It wasn't easy, but they are there now.
They are getting a bit more flexible with these things. You people, with your backward selves, are now deciding that you want to stop women from driving. Why are we so bent on subjugating women? I do not understand it.
To quote your favorite line.
And guess what? The governor trying to effect this bullshit is that Governor Ganduje, the one that was caught receiving dollars, bribes.
When
There was a
somebody
video of
caught
this thing,
that
though.
way, that did not lose
There
his
was a
seat.
video.
Yeah, I know.
Until today, nothing has
When
happened.
someone was caught like that did not lose his seat, and the senator was caught slapping someone, and they did not lose their, what do you expect, bro?
It is crazy.
Bro, what do you expect?
Sometimes I just get tired of
But we talked about immunity for MPs in the UK. In Nigeria, all you need to be is to be a politician.
No, there's grades to it.
Tertiary, now.
If you are a thief, a looter, just know that go into politics.
Exactly.
If you are an armed robber, serial killer, or ritualist, open a church.
Exactly.
You will thrive. I was telling somebody the other day, they were laughing, but watch. All people will go to that jail. You get me?
Come back.
He will come out. He will tell you that he repented in jail.
And people will still.
And he will come out, open a church, and everybody will go to. Who doesn't want to go to Hush Puppy Ministries? Who did this to us? I will ask again.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
Who caused
I
us?
know. We've talked about it before. It's the British. The people that I still believe that.
Why do you think it's the British?
No, it all stems down from colonial.
The only thing I think the British did that was wrong, apart from the whole slavery and everything, is Nigeria shouldn't be one country.
That's one. Number two, when they were handing out power, handing it over to just the to the north, is one of the reasons why we're back. You understand? You know why? If they by force, you guys have to be a country. If they had a system in place that the north, I mean, they did that sharing of power, you know, the way the Awolowos canvass for it, prime minister of this, prime minister of, you know, like that. If they actually oversee that,
it's pissing me off.
If they actually oversaw that to the latter, Femi, I can bet you we won't be where we had to.
Imagine somebody saying allowing women driving in the states, that's Kano State, represent the darkest moments in our lives as Muslims. I really don't get it. The way everything went silent now was where I went. That was where I went silent when I first read that.
Because I don't know how to follow up that.
What is wrong with us?
I don't know how to follow up that. It's like
Who did this
it's
to
the
us?
stupidity of the highest order. But like the anti-Buharists have always said, this guy is pro Sharia, and one of the legacies that is looking to leave when he leaves is in Nigeria that is more Sharia than he meant it.
Than it has ever been, actually.
Yeah.
Fuck them. It will never happen anyway. Nigeria is too big a country, and whether they like it or not, Nigeria will split because it's not
Unless
working.
we split, we're not going to work.
It is not working.
Unfortunately,
it's not working. So
I just hope we can.
Let's round this
peacefully
up because I'm happy that we were able to, you know, we got enough time in to talk about prostate cancer. Guys, pay more attention to your health, please. Go for blood tests, go for regular checkups, check your blood pressure. I mean, especially if you're in your 40s, you know, it costs you nothing. The same way you dedicate time to chasing women, you know, that bonbon that you are chasing, you need high blood pressure to be able to work that bonbon. I'm telling you. Okay, you know. To round this up, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, you said it all. Look after yourself, take better care of yourself. To your families, let's love each other more while we're alive. Let's not wait till when one of us is passed on and we have to go and borrow money to take care of that person. You know, it's just plain.
Let's just be kind to one another. You know.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna round this up by saying,
see you on the next episode.
You are not listening to this podcast by accident. You are not watching this by accident. Everything is going to be okay. It may seem like it's not right now, but everything is going to be okay in the end. Breathe and remember that you've been in this place before. You've been this uncomfortable. You've been this anxious. You've been this scared before. And guess what? You survived. You've survived so far. Close your eyes and feel the universe within you making a way for you right now. Take care of yourselves, be kind, and say we'll meet you guys again. Stay safe.